We look at the news through a horror lens. We lens news through horror. We horror news. Welcome to the last episode of the Lost at Home podcast. Ever for 2022.
That's right.
I'm so glad this year's over.
No, I don't know. I will
year.
say, based on this, this might technically be the first episode of 2023. This is the last episode we are recording in 2022.
Yeah, it's still 2022.
Yes.
Fucking A. God damn it.
Yes, it
what
is.
A fucking
but by
year.
the time people listen to this, I'm guessing not release this until, this might come out on December 31st, or it might come out on January 2nd.
Well, time will tell, or you'll just know when you see it.
Either way, it's not a radio. You guys are listening to this whenever you're listening to it. But this is our last episode recording of 2022.
Yep.
That's the important thing. We're getting into this.
Curious to see what 2023 is going to bring, because every year is just hold my beer to the previous year, it feels like.
Yeah.
We haven't really had a good year in years.
Yeah, I will say, I do feel that 2022 was better than 2021.
I think 2015 might have been the last good year.
Yeah, and I bet if we look back then, we're like, well, at least 2016 would be better.
Man, 2016 is the beginning of Trump.
I know.
And then we went from that to the pandemic, and then went from that to Roe v. Wade and domestic terrorism
That's
on the
true.
rise.
That was this past year, wasn't it? I was going to say, because 2021 I was like, well, we didn't have an insurrection, but we have now like just an ongoing coup in this country.
2020... Wait,
when did
the insurrection happen? What year? Was that
2021, yeah.
It was 2021. Okay, so that was the bad. We had an insurrection.
Yeah.
This year we lost abortion.
And 2020, like, if it hadn't been for the pandemic, which was a big thing, I would have
Pandemic.
felt better about it because, like, hey, we got rid of Trump. Again, we're not a political podcast. You don't even know what kind of podcast we are yet because we haven't really told you about it. But
Don't you run a thing at the beginning?
we do, yes. Actually, you do. You actually, you give the intro. Yeah.
So here's to another stinker of a year leading into another stinker of a year. I do not foresee 2023 being any better. In fact, there is that Supreme Court decision that may remove our vote. So no more voting.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still vote in blue states because I don't think they'll get too squirrely with it. But, if you're in a red state and you vote, your vote does not count if the Supreme Court has their way this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're a red voter in a red state, it's going to be great.
Oh, no, automatically, you automatically win because there will be no more voting.
Oh, yeah. Like, essentially, like, Carrie Lake will be able to actually do the bullshit that she wants to do, which is essentially
I want to be governor. Whatever. What was she, governor? Governor?
She would have been governor, yeah.
All right, so basically she'll just cry, I want a governor.
Yeah,
and they'll just be like, all right, well, the Supreme Court said you can be governor. We'll just make you
cool.
governor.
I want to be governor, so I'm governor now. I ain't going to govern. Everybody do God.
Yeah, 80% of the votes against Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake wins.
Yep.
Thank you, Supreme Court. You are invalidating our democracy.
It was rigged. I said it, so therefore now I get it.
We're really not a political podcast.
Yeah,
we
are not.
We're really not.
We are not. But you know what?
We just fucking hate how politics interferes in our weird, strange lives.
It is true. But we are looking forward to 2023. We're going to see if it brings anything better to the table. I do not have high hopes. I'm going to say in 2030 we're going to start seeing something a little better. I mean, the world's going to continue to be on fire. We're probably going to be even more fucked climate-wise.
You had predictions at the end of our episode show notes that you removed that we were going to make up. I have one prediction.
I have predictive world like news stories, and I'll explain why I removed the segment. But we can still make predictions for the next year.
I have one prediction.
Yes.
Clarence Thomas, evil motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think he will die in the Supreme Court this year. Natural causes. He's an old fat man.
Yeah, I mean he's not as old as like, you know.
I think either he has the right level of hate to live forever, or he has the right level of hate to die from it. Like it's finally going to consume his soul.
I mean, I will say though,
he is an evil motherfucker.
I will say though that unfortunately, black men do die considerably younger, especially obese black men. die considerably younger in this country, but also it mostly has to do with socioeconomic factors, and he's a rich motherfucker.
Yeah, he's got more money than God.
Although, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, he's not even that old, but, I mean, relative to, RBG.
Too old to be making decisions for people younger than him that will last decades and decades and decades, when he will pretty much be dead in a year or two, because he is an elderly man.
Yeah, I do believe he's younger than Biden, I think.
That's okay. We all thought Biden would be dead by now, too.
Let me actually check. Joe Biden.
Yeah, you're to a new listener who's like, wow, this is a super left-wing thing. Biden's probably going to die, too, this year, and no one really cares.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. So Biden's actually 2 years older than Clarence Thomas.
Yeah. No, everyone's like, yo, you and your boy Biden. If you ever talk like politics with someone and sound too liberal, it's like, I don't give a fuck about Biden.
I don't like,
I don't hate him, but I also don't give a fuck about him.
Whenever anybody comes to the table with that, I'm just like, okay, you just tipped your hand, because I don't vote for people, I vote for policies. Yeah. And like the Hunter
thing. Yeah. People are like, well, what are you saying about Hunter on your side of the aisle? I'll be like, if Hunter and Biden did something bad, both of them together, fucking put him in jail. Put him in jail. I hold no standards for politicians. Lock everyone up who's bad.
Or even better,
left, right, middle.
But and even better, if you need to, if you want to go and
lock up libertarians.
Investigate Hunter Biden. Go ahead, all you want, but don't do it within the Congress of the United States, because guess what? Hunter Biden does not hold an office.
Yeah.
So yes, go ahead and get somebody to investigate him. Fine, but don't spend my fucking tax dollars in Congress putting a committee together for somebody who doesn't even work for the fucking country.
You might as well be like going after Kevin Spacey. It means nothing.
Yeah. Again, investigate. Fine.
Put him in jail.
Yeah, and then just like old Bill Cosby.
I want Hunter Biden locked up in jail.
Yeah, and then
if he did a crime.
And then he'll get out and he'll go on a comedy tour like fucking Bill Cosby's planning. Did you hear about that?
2023. It wasn't a prediction we had, but we knew it was coming. We knew.
Yeah, because Bill Cosby is apparently this is getting a little closer to the show at hand. But everybody
thinks that I raped that girl
only because
I'm just going to tell you can't rape a pudding pop. You can put it in your mouth, and it can say, no, I don't want to go in your mouth. But you can't rape a pudding pop.
But you can't rape a woman with a pudding pop. It turns out that apparently tells folks, why is nobody laughing at my jokes in 2023?
Pudding pops melt into her pussy, whether she wants them in there or not.
I
think I was almost skating in some other black stereotypical voices there. So I'm gonna pull back.
We should go ahead.
I got the pudding pop part right. We gotta pop a lot. Pull back.
All right, but yes, it was over the most part. We are going to be covering some weird news. We did two movies in a row because we wanted to, similar to the month before. We wanted to get a couple of holiday themed movies out of the way before the actual holiday itself. So, excuse me. We are going to do our last podcast of the year / first of next year, depending on when you listen.
Last podcast of the year. What year? 22.
Cool. We're gonna.
You put music below that. It's gonna and like layer my voice. I'm gonna sound like a dream.
If you put music behind that and take my voice out and do something completely different over it, it will sound like you got this chair. You got this chair.
Make a note. You're not making notes.
But yeah, so we're going to be focusing this week on web droppings and a little bit of a roundup of some of the. We've got a couple of little.
This is a loose show.
It is a loose, which I love about keeping this a little loose this last week that we are doing the last week ever of 2022. But we love doing horror movies, and I thought it would be fun to do a horror movie roundup and look ahead, where we each pick 3 of our favorite horror movies of 2022. And 3 of our most anticipated horror movies slated for 23. Now, what I say in 2022, I mean ones that came out, not just ones we saw, but ones that came out in 2022, or at least widely released in 2022.
I read a list today of, I forgot what it was, Rotten Tomatoes best horror movies of 2022, and it was like 300 entries long. This was a huge year for horror.
It was, yeah.
I was shocked at the rankings because of things I thought were super popular were really low, like Hellraiser was number 27 with Hocus Pocus 2 right behind it.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah,
it was a weird grouping. Prey was in the top 10, I believe. So was X.
Yeah.
I'm not going through that list. I didn't even put in our show notes.
No, in fact,
but it was long.
I think because our list is shorter and better. And Scott, actually, you took one of my favorites from 2022 and one of my most anticipated from 23. So I decided to put you first. Not that you took them. You filled the thing out before I did. So I decided to put you first So I wouldn't.
I could also easily interchange a lot of my 2022 ones with other films. It was a great year for horror.
But the number one on your list was number one on my list. And granted, I didn't put it down, so
we should have just had a shared list too. Then things that we don't agree about.
It's true, but in this one, like the reason I switched you to the first one is because I don't want people to think I wouldn't have put this at toward the top. So I'm going to let you start out.
All right, 2022, my favorites. Starting number one, Barbarian.
That's the one that would have been absolutely on my list.
It fucks with the 3-act structure of storytelling, but it does it in a way that still works, and I enjoyed that.
Another bit of proof that people in comedy, like Jordan Peele, proved as well. People who are known for comedy can come into the horror scene on their first movie and fucking knock it out of the park.
I think comedy and horror are just two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, so I listened to. I was talking to you earlier about while I was playing No Man's Sky, listening to a lot of Smartless podcast. And the Smartless podcast is very well known, so I'm not going to pretend like we're like going to give them a bump by mentioning them. So
Smartless or Smart List?
Smartless.
There we go.
Smartless.
I'm a fan of Smart List. That's my jam.
Yeah, Smart List. Here are things that make you smart.
Let's list them.
I like this.
Books.
And it's still got Will Arnett.
Podcasts like this one.
As long as it's got Will Arnett in it.
And now an ad from Blue Apron.
Yeah.
We're 4 seconds in. They've listed 2 things. Blue Apron can bring you Smart List.
All right. And the number 3 thing on the Smart List is Helix mattresses. Oh, fuck. It's another ad. Anyway, so
most of our lists are just us listing ads.
I was listening.
Top 10 ads we played this year.
I was listening to Smart List, and they had Jordan Peele on a while ago, but I've been catching up. And it was before Nope came out, so it must have been about a year ago, or probably 8 months ago.
That was during his era, right?
This was like it was right before. So it was right before Nope. So he was promoting Nope,
okay.
And but it was before Nope had come out. Anybody had seen it. And these guys had seen his other movies, but they're generally not like fans of horror in general. And Will Arnett was asking a question that, I love Will Arnett, but it essentially was just like, oh, but you do stuff that's so much more like beyond horror and better than horror and stuff. And I could hear Jordan Peele steaming on the other side of it, because I know Jordan Peele's thought of this as there's no such thing as elevated horror, and he was very good about it, and he was like. It's like, well, I actually don't make the distinction. He's like, because I believe horror is the absolute best genre. And he's like, because of and people try to bring this new thing and elevated horror into it. And it's like, really, it's just all horror. There's always been elevated horror. There's been Rosemary's Baby, stuff like that.
Horror can be genre bending where other genres don't bend freely.
That's kind of what he was getting
at. You could have a horror drama
like
Hereditary.
Yes.
You could have a horror comedy like Evil Dead 2.
Yep.
You could have sci-fi horror like Event Horizon.
Yep.
It lends itself. You get a period horror like Kingdom.
Yeah. There's just like it's.
And then within horror, there's so many genres.
And yes, and that's where like and he even pointed out, he was like, well,
even
to me horror is like what unsettles you, which is so subjective, even more so than comedy.
Which is why horror has to have 50 subgenres.
Yes,
and that's just the top. But there's probably 250 subgenres of horror at least.
Yes. Oh yeah, and if you want to get into those micro genres, which are subgenres of subgenres, like you've got found footage, but then you've got screen life.
Yeah, I only like movies where the scream queen dies at the end, is raped, the protagonist is made of sand, and it's an homage to Gone with the Wind.
All right, 662 selections.
I mean, there can really you can nail it down that small.
Well, no, because
you can be like, I only like B horror movies with puppet animals.
Yeah,
like you can go that made in New Zealand.
Yeah,
you can literally narrow it down that much, and then you're like, all right, which New Zealand puppet horror movie that's B level did you like? Did you like Black Sheep? Did you like?
Not Bad Taste, but
Bad Taste would count.
Not the Muppets one.
Bad Taste.
Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles would count. The Cemetery Man.
That's right. Yeah,
that would count technically. It had puppet zombies. They're not animals, but they were zombies.
Man, we see, like you just like pulled something out of your ass, and we can literally just then reverse engineer a bunch of movies into it. Yeah. But yeah, so I was getting at Jordan Peele because the what is it, Krager or whatever, the guy's name from whoever Zach Krager.
Zach Braff, got it.
Zach Braff, director of Barbarian. No, but the guy from Whitest Kids You Know was the director of Barbarian.
I did not know that.
And just
wait,
completely,
which one?
Look him up, Zach Krieger.
Was it the whitest kid or the whitest kid?
It was one of the whitest kids. Look him up. He's not the one that died, but he is great because one of them died recently, like last year or the year before.
Here, I'm gonna do Zach Krieger, whitest barbarian.
What? Yeah. Honestly, that will bring you what you need to bring. You'll recognize him. So yes.
Whoa, that's him.
Yes. So that's the director and writer of Barbarian. Yeah.
So, yeah, Trevor Moore died.
Yes, that was the one that died. Like what last year?
He was like the best one. No offense to Zach Krieger. Sorry, I just liked his comedy style.
No, absolutely. I love that troupe. If people have not checked out Whitest Kids You Know. Great comedy troupe.
Fucking shit! I did not know. I just learned something new on the show live.
Yeah, but it shows you like how much like goes. But also, like the Whitest Kids You Know, they had that kind of fuck you comedy, which is sort of like Kids in the Hall, or like now there's that new one, Please Don't Destroy or whatever on SNL.
I haven't seen that.
That new comedy troupe of like the three guys.
Yeah, the writers' room kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like, but it's that like wacky absurdist comedy. Granted, they're standing on the shoulders of giants, and so were Whitest Kids You Know, but like they remind
standing on the shoulders of God, what was that show? Human Giant.
Yes,
standing on the shoulders of Human Giant.
But even then, like Human Giant was standing on the shoulders of the Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall were standing on the shoulders of the Monty Python, and literally Monty Python created the weird stuff. Not really, actually. There was people before that, but anyway. So, but also show like that carries over into the horror because this was like you were saying the 3-act structure that you fucked with. It's like their comedy. Their comedy was subversive and just went all over the place. Like you're like, oh, I'm looking over here and I expect this, and you're like, fuck you, we're pulling the rug out, and it was just this wacky absurdist comedy. He brings that to the 3-act structure, which really, if you could even call it technically it was actually a really good 3-act structure. There are very distinct acts in the movie, but man, were they all over the place.
Mark Duplass. That was who I was thinking
of.
From The League.
Yes, exactly.
Then went off to make
Creep
2, and then This Quiet Place.
Yeah,
1 and 2.
Oh, that was Krasinski. Again,
you're right. I confused the two of them.
Another comedy
guy.
Krasinski. Yeah, so actually we just
Krasinski and Mark Duplass. They
Duplass
literally look like the same guy.
Duplass did like Room 104 or whatever it was, or whatever it's called.
He did Room 104. He did Creep 2. He's done a bunch of horror.
Yes, yeah.
And right now he's doing that show on Apple TV that's It's so.
Yeah, but it does show that like there's and
the comedy
Jordan Peele mentioned it as well as in that interview where you have. Like the timing and what you're trying to get out of people is so subjective that it's like with between comedy and it's all timing based and editing based. So it makes sense that one would jump from one to the other, and usually it's from comedy to horror, not necessarily as much the other way around. But
all right, that's good. We just went down a hole.
Anyway, so number one. I'm going to let you rattle the rest off.
Number 2, I can rattle off because we did it last week. Yep. Violent Night. I just fucking loved it. It may not be straight up horror. Maybe it might be considered violent action. Don't fucking care. It has a magic man killing people. That to me is horror.
Yeah.
Number 3, Glorious. I talked about this midsummer when we had watched it.
We watched it in the backyard of your house.
Yeah, on my new projector screen. It was beautiful. It was great.
Yep.
Really
weird.
Love that weird ass movie.
J.K. Simmons.
I had to put it in my top 3 because nothing else was like it.
Oh, J.K. Simmons and the guy from
True Blood.
True Blood, yeah.
Yeah, the
Australian
cop.
from True Blood, yeah.
The Texas cop played by the Australian in True Blood.
Yeah. By the Australian fuckboy. Yeah.
All right, so that was my list for 2022. My upcoming list, things that I'm excited for, Knock at the Cabin Door. I almost told my wife not to last night, but she played the second trailer for it. I demanded, do not play it if it gives anything away, because you guys have read the book.
I don't think she
I haven't read the book.
But
on purpose.
According to the author and M. Night Shyamalan, they're putting a lot of disclaimers out there to get people who have read the book to like chill the fuck out, because they're like, this is a loose interpretation. They're like, so essentially they're like, this is,
and so it's going to be another Shyamalan dud.
So essentially, like the setup is fine.
God, fucking so sick. Shyamalan.
But like no, this actually had like this.
Oh, he's got good bones. No, he can destroy things. No, easily.
This was essentially. I mean, maybe it's after the fact that he's saying this, but the author had the buy-in of essentially helping to write the script as well, and intentionally essentially they were like, if you've read the book, you should still be surprised by watching the movie.
Okay.
So there are things. Now, the whole premise and setup is exactly the same, but they're saying there's some different things that will occur.
The
that
book
will
is
actually,
like the size of a fucking STD pamphlet, so
Yeah.
I can see why they would probably have to flesh it out a little.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
like a Stephen King short story becoming a movie.
Yeah, it's a 260-page.
It's a tiny book.
I read it in 2 days. Your wife lent it to me.
Yeah. I could read it in 2 days too.
Yeah. I'm not a fast reader, so yes, you probably could.
No, I was just gonna say, like,
But
I'm
also
purposefully not reading it because I want to go in blind to what looks like a really fun horror movie and not be comparing to my head. I want fresh eyes.
I will. Yeah. So I actually don't mind if knowing that they're going to change it like a decent amount. I'm actually going in anyway. So Knock at the Cabin. All right.
Number two, Evil Dead Rises.
This is one I was going to put on mine, but
Evil
you got
Dead
to
4.
it first. I want to watch it. I'm really excited.
It's either Evil Dead 4 or it's Evil Dead 4.5 or it's Evil Dead 6, depending on how geeky you are.
Right.
Because the show, okay, so it's Evil Dead 2. No, they're not remakes. They're sequels to each other.
There's Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness is 3. The show is 4.
Did technically...
I consider the show, all the seasons, to be part 4.
So you're not going chronologically. You're just
We're going
talking
chronologically. Right after Army of Darkness, you hit the show. Boom. Off and running. Direct continuation.
But technically the Fede Alvarez movie came out before the show did, I believe.
Or were you talking about the remake one?
Yes.
Considering the remake one a in-universe...
Yes.
And only because Bruce Campbell's in that end scene.
That's what I mean. So that's where already we're getting into...
So I guess I would consider it...
So that's what I say. Chronologically, if you're going pure chronological, that technically
3.5.
Okay.
Or 4. Because it's not a true 4. It's not a true sequel.
No,
it doesn't follow the story.
But it's also not... They all even specifically said it's not a reboot either.
Yeah. I would say it falls in the universe. It's just such an aside.
So we're not going pure chronological. You're saying, like, universe-wise, the TV show definitely makes more sense in the universe of
to watch right after Army of Darkness.
So essentially, that's 4/3.
And then the new one, I would say, would also be 4.
Okay.
Because it also comes after Army of Darkness.
4A.
Doesn't have Bruce Campbell. And if you
4A, and then the
Did you finish the show?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you know in the last episode, the new movie can't be after the show.
Yes.
So, once again,
right,
you kind of have to peel it back.
That's where the 0.5 comes.
It has to be a 0.5 thing. Like the remake...
I'm saying 3.5.
The remake that's loosely connected is a 0.5. This is also a 0.5.
I say the remake...
Because the show throws it off.
I say actually the remake because it is not... So let's not go chronologically. I'll say the remake, even though it came out technically 4th, is now number 5.
After the show. Because you could watch the show and then jump back and be like, so what's been happening during the events of the show?
Welcome to the Lasso Podcast, where we break down Evil Dead shit personally to the point where you guys don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
so niche.
I do think, though, that they all connect, they all work. I just know that timeline-wise, the remake and the new one happened during the TV show.
When I said chronologically, I was talking about literally production chronologically.
No, I was thinking in universe. So we're talking two different things.
Yeah,
let's start over then. Okay, back to square one.
Back to number 1. All right, we're like 23 minutes in, haven't gotten a single story. All right.
But anyway. I that's my issue, is it's 1, 2, Army, show, and then you could basically watch the remake, which isn't a remake, it's a loosened adaptation.
Yep.
And then you could add the other one in universe during the show.
Yep.
Just chronologically, it happens during the actual show. My third one we covered the other week as an upcoming movie that I'm excited about, period, Cocaine Bear. We talked about it at length. I know it's not like this blockbuster thing that's going to win an Emmy, but I'm tempted to go to the theater for that. I know I'm going to the theater for Evil Dead Rises. Jerry, you going with me?
I would absolutely love to go with you.
Kelly, I'm going to try to talk into it too. She doesn't do theaters past COVID. But
I would love to.
I think out of all these on this list, Evil Dead Rises will be the only theater watch for me.
That's the one that was originally on my most anticipated list, which I guess brings me into my list of 2022 films. I cheated a little bit because number one,
used 2, and
number
I don't
one,
think
I combined.
X is in 2022.
I know, but really,
everyone says it is. Why was it released on VOD in 2022? It's a 2021 movie.
No,
I am almost guaranteed.
Nope. It came out in February or so, because I saw the opening weekend.
God, is February so long ago now that I feel like it's 2021?
I saw the opening weekend. I saw it in March of 2022.
Did you looked it up?
Yep, they both. I know they both came out the same year because
that blows my
impressed,
mind.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I pirated X so quickly from when it hit theaters.
Yeah.
And found a copy. that I thought it had come out in 2021, and now copies finally became available months later.
Yep.
No, apparently I pirated it like the same weekend you went to watch it.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, because I remember
I watched an HD copy online for free.
I remember. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's awesome that that movie that made
I wish I had helped it profit, and because we support horror.
You just go stream it somewhere, and
we
just
also
at least
had
give them
no high hopes for it. We
Yeah.
were like, "Ooh, Kid Cudi in a horror movie. Let's check that out."
Oh, I had huge high hopes.
We had no high hopes.
My hopes were way up here, and they were fucking dashed immediately because Ty West is a fucking god to me.
No, we loved it. We absolutely fucking loved that movie.
Ty West is amazing. Ty West, House of the Devil was one of my favorite horror movies when that came out in 2009, I think. I fucking love Sacrament for 2013. I fucking loved everything he's done.
Ty West was a big pull, but Kid Cudi was a second big pull for us. We're both huge Cudi fans.
And then, of course, it became Mia Goth, and of course, Jenna Ortega was also in it, who is now...
Wait, she was in that?
She was like the meek little mouse. Yeah, she was the boom operator, yeah.
Whoa, you're right.
Dude, we were talking earlier, like
about how she's becoming a horror icon.
She loves horror, and she picks the right fucking roles. Like that was a no money.
My wife and I had an argument about this last night. Argument's harsh words. We were debating this without looking it up online, nor did we ever solve this. We just let it go. How old is she? I think she's 22.
She's 20.
Close enough. Yes. Kelly thought she was 15 in real life.
Oh no, God no.
I was like, honey, this is the CW effect. Everyone you're seeing in this CW Netflix show Wednesday is in their 20s.
That's the thing. Is like in interviews and stuff, she looks like she's probably 18 to 22. Whereas in the show, she's made up to be she's literally 18.
I know. I kind of had that talk with my wife. I'm like, you've seen like The Flash and other CW stuff, like all that stuff, like. They're all supposed to be young, but they're all played by people in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, and honestly, she probably shot it when she was 19, if that makes any difference.
She was saying something, my wife was saying something about how that's how they used to do it, but not anymore or something. Oh, and I was like, no, if anything, it's gotten worse.
Yeah, I mean...
Like the 90s was bad for 40-year-old guys playing high schoolers.
Yeah, I will say that there is a cutoff now way more where like they don't have 30-year-olds playing 20-year-olds anymore.
The 70s and 80s, you had age-appropriate girls and guys.
Yes, yeah.
But then they'd fucking kiss and stuff, and they'd be like, are those children?
Yeah.
Are those
I just want to know if I should tell people I jerked off to this. Yeah. I'm still going to jerk off.
If I ever need to pass a lie detector someday, I'd feel really good knowing right now.
Yeah. Maybe I need plausible deniability. But yeah,
there was a shift. It was youngins in movies, 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
90s was old people, same with early 2000s. And I feel like now it's starting to shift to be closer to the right age without being underage.
I think so, but like I think a lot of times what happens is when they want somebody like who's supposedly portraying 16, they'll still get somebody who's 20 because 20 can play 16. Especially as an older person, I realize I'm like I
could play 16.
Hey guys, hey get out of here, narc.
Hey kids, want to hang 10 and smoke some spliffs?
I got some Quaaludes.
Oh, there we go. Every kid loves Quaaludes.
Fucking Quaaludes outdate me, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, those are older than us.
Yeah. Anyway, so X and Pearl, I jammed together as one movie in 2022. Number 2 was Prey. It's funny. I actually have 2 reboots / sequels.
Hulu originals.
Both Hulu originals. You're right.
And then we have the Aliens Hulu original coming out.
So my next one is Hellraiser. Prey and Hellraiser are my 2. Because I mean, and I would never think I would put like these kind of rebooty type movies in there, but man, especially straight streaming. But man, they
Prey fits in universe, not a reboot.
It's not a reboot.
It's a prequel. It's a prequel.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Hellraiser theoretically could fit in universe if you kind of just take all the 20 films and consider the looseness of them.
Well, especially like, and honestly, like the way. That's something I was okay with a reboot for because they had fucked it up so many times after number 2. So I was like, you know what? It needs a complete restart. We already don't have Doug Bradley anyway, so let's get somebody let's really reinvigorate this and essentially stay way closer to some of the themes in the Hellbound Heart, which I recently reread as well. Anyway, 2023. Actually, I just realized that 4 of these movies have Mia Goth in them out of 6 that I've got. X and Pearl from the first, and then Maxine, which is the third of the X and Pearl of the trilogy that he is coming out in 2023. Maxine, again, number 3 from X and Pearl. Infinity Pool, which is a Brandon Cronenberg movie, which also has Mia Goth.
I watched the trailer with Kelly, and we both were scratching our heads going, is this something we want to watch?
What, Infinity Pool?
Yeah, because it looked crazy, but I didn't understand a thing from that trailer.
That's the reason. The thing is, like, I did the same thing with like Crimes of the Future.
Good
Crimes
cast.
of the Future. And honestly, the last Brandon Cronenberg fucking movie.
I've got Crimes of the Future in a queue of mine right now.
Possessor, I watched it and still didn't know what the fuck happened.
Which one was Possessor?
Good question.
Is that the neighborhood one?
No. That was it's fucking weird sci-fi. Look it up.
Okay.
You'll be if you haven't seen it.
I was thinking of that neighborhood haunting one.
No, that was Terrifier.
Terrifier.
And that was Argentinian. I love that one.
That was
really.
that's one of my favorite horror movies of all
that's
time.
When people ask about Shudder originals that I recommend them, that's at the top of the list.
Terrifier.
I absolutely love it. It's so.
If you can
so
make
unique.
it through the first 10 minutes, you're gonna love the rest. But that's your. I think the first 10 minutes weeds out the people who are like, "That's not for me." Holy shit! What am I fucking watching?
Oh no!
It's intense.
My favorite parts of the movie were the first 10 minutes.
The shower scene.
The shower scene. Which all we're gonna say is, I was like, "Yep, this is for me."
Oh yeah,
then it goes all off.
You
all
told
over
us.
the place.
You told us to watch it. My wife and I popped it on.
Oh, okay, cool.
We got to the shower scene and we were like, "Yep, this is our movie."
Yeah,
we were both sold. Like this is our movie.
Yeah, you can tell like who you got to hang with when you're like, "This is for me," and I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna be buds." Yeah.
Or married.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Infinity Pool again. The reason I'm anticipating it is because I know I like Brandon Cronenberg's work. I love Mia Goth, and honestly, I have no idea what the fuck it's going to be about. And also, they had a fight to make it so it's not NC-17. So it's like it's got some brutality in there. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is number 3. That's just a fun one coming out in February.
That's like my cocaine bear.
Yeah, that's essentially the same kind of thing, same kind of concept. Anyway, so we are finally into the show proper. We're going to get some web droppings here. And I'm not even going to play the Sting because we're running a little behind.
Let's just go for it.
I'm just going to go for it.
Let's rank Evil Dead again.
Yeah,
instead of the Sting.
Not even rank Evil Dead. We weren't even ranking them. We were trying to figure out how they fit in chronological order. Then we had an argument about what chronological means.
Yes.
So this is great for listeners. Anyway.
That whole Evil Dead, what is chronological means Bill Clinton argument.
Yeah. So actually, you know what? I am going to play the Sting because I have to go pee. All right, that was a great Sting. Hopefully, you remember to put it in there because we haven't put it in for a while. But anyway, I'm going to get into some web droppings here. And actually, it turns out this is actually almost a post-mortem on Christmas because a lot of the stories we're talking about, at least I think 3 of them, actually are related to Christmas.
It would make sense. I kind of thought the end of the year web dropping episode would pretty much be weird shit that happened over Christmas week.
Yes.
Because that's how we search for our news. We usually only go about 7 days back.
Hey, a bunch of fucking plays are canceled. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some weird shit that I haven't been on TikTok much recently. And my main thought process was, I'm missing out on important news because I cannot imagine the amount of airport freakout videos on TikTok that I missed this week that I dearly actually wanted to see.
I just want
to. Well, I feel bad too because normally a Karen freak out at an airport, just a fucking person with a MAGA hat freaking the fuck out because
these were justified freakouts.
These were like my insulin is in one of those 3 million bags in a different state.
You're like, sorry, we forgot how to run an airport. Like, and I love it. Like, we weren't going to talk about this, but
it's an amazing story.
Where Southwest is like, storm and stuff. I'm like, you guys were responsible for 80% of all cancellations. Yeah. Why doesn't everybody else? Well, I don't know. I guess we didn't know what computers were.
Yeah, their computer software they came out with today, they announced today was from the 90s and has not been updated since the 90s. So literally it was a software failure due to age.
And you know damn well that
90s tracking software.
You know damn well like some of the more recent companies and stuff have probably upgraded with AI and bullshit like that can fucking like reroute people without a fucking human being being involved.
They've got a jailbroken PS1. They're literally using the old controller with like a broken analog stick to make the flights go around the flight paths on their little screen. Also, one of those green
like the green
monitors,
like the green CRTs at 16 feet deep.
Yep.
Because they actually need a little elf to throw the fucking the packets at the screen.
This monitor may not weigh as much as me, but when you stand it on end, it's taller. Yeah.
That's worth something, isn't it? Southwest. It's worth something, isn't it?
My PlayStation's rebooted. We're going to lose Flight 7. All right. Also, their flight numbers are like 7, 9. Like
It can literally go up to 9, then it has to then it has to go back around again. We didn't spring for the double-digit add-on.
no binary.
Yeah, yeah. We just go up to 9.
We go up to 9.
Yeah,
Every airport can have 9 flights per hour.
Yeah.
If it past that, it gets confusing.
What's
Do we
that?
land 9 the first 9 or the second 9? Could have just made it 19. Nope, single numbers.
But
we don't even have 10.
It is 0 to 9, so technically it's 10 because we are 0 base. So what's that? How many flights we got to cancel today? 250 times 0. Well, that's no flights at all. We should be fine. Anyway.
Yeah, that was a fucking hell of a story that I really feel like I missed out on.
It fucked people up. No, because it was one thing if like but everybody's like, listen, this shit happens. We know.
Oh, they said they'll have it fixed by Friday.
But there are people. But there are people who like were like, okay, my flight was canceled on Saturday. I guess I'll wait around. And then finally yesterday they left the fucking. They finally left after literally camping out in a fucking terminal like Tom Hanks style. Or the real guy style.
Yeah, I'm really worried. I have to fly in March to San Francisco, and we already started looking at flights. There is no direct flight from Vermont to San Francisco. It does not exist.
No, you gotta do it. Like
4 connecting flights was best we could find. Some of
really? You can't just go Detroit and then there?
Nope. Some of them being half a day almost. So basically, we've discovered that it might take us literally 2 days of travel to get to San Francisco.
That's what you're like. Well, what would it cost to like rent an RV and just fucking go?
We're trying to figure it out because we're gonna have to take 2 days in the front and 2 days in the back for 2 days for travel.
That seems ridiculous.
And then 5 days there because she needs to be there for 5 days.
Maybe.
So we're gonna have to take off 9 days and hope we don't miss one connecting flight out of 4 each way.
It's in the summer.
It's in March.
Oh.
It's gonna be bad.
You should probably roll in
one snowstorm and we're
you or just wind, dude. At that point, yeah. I mean, you'll be good until about Detroit, and then because I'm guessing at some point you guys go through fucking Detroit, or unless you go through the South. But
I think it was like Vermont to Detroit to LA to Spokane to San Francisco, something like that.
When I went out to Vegas, like it was literally I had one layover in Detroit, and that like Detroit essentially takes you all the way to the West Coast, but maybe not anymore. So
we can't find one. We're trying.
That sucks.
We're trying.
Yeah, we'll keep looking. You got plenty. Well, you don't have plenty of time to look. You got like a month to look.
Yeah, no, we're looking. We're looking almost daily to see how things change. 'Cause flights change daily too.
Yeah. Want to go back to talking about Evil Dead? I think people will like it more. We'll like plan our travels.
I'm just telling anyone flying from the east to west coast in the middle of winter, plan further ahead than we did, or be ready. Be ready for this shit. That's the news that fell through the cracks this time.
That's the sad thing.
It's a warning.
3 months is not enough ahead.
I'm warning people. I'm warning people, if they like Wham, they're going to hate this story.
Yeah. So, actually, you'll probably be fine because they are not going to...
I don't know this song, by the way.
So, Last Christmas by Wham.
I don't know that song.
Is apparently a popular song.
Last Christmas, I'm shaking my rump. Is that it?
Oh my God, it is. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then it goes, last rump, I'm shaking my Christmas. Wham, wham, we are Wham.
They say their name a lot in songs, too.
We are Wham.
I find the most memorable band connections to songs where they say their name a lot.
Limp Bizkit. Actually, rappers do it a lot. Like hip-hop artists are like, yo, Snoop Dogg.
I'm Snoop Dogg, and I'm here to say...
Wham, 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 wham. Oh, this is... Oh, man, my heat still came on, even though I fucking turned it off. All right. Anyway, so the couple hates the song Last Christmas by Wham! So much that they're trying to buy the song rights so they can take it off the air forever. Now, Miss Tomas and Hannah Mazzetti have already raised over 50,000 pounds to banish the song forever. Funny they're not doing this in Europe.
They've raised 50,000 weird
About sort of an L with a line through it, or is it an E? I always thought it was an L with a line through it.
It looks like an E.
It could be. It
looks like a festive E.
Yeah. Anyway,
I will buy 7 of your Snicker bars for this festive $5. Oh,
as
pound bill. What do you?
As of the writing of the story, which was last week-ish, actually, by the time you guys are listening to it, this week for us.
Time has passed since we are talking.
Time has passed. Wham! And they have they've raised about 62,000 American dollars from 327 people to get rid of the song for good. But they have a little bit of an uphill battle because apparently This is how well-known the song should be to us, but we still don't know. The rights of the song, currently owned by Warner Chappell Music UK, are valued one song. This is why I need to get into songwriting. By the way, I mean, I write songs. I need to try
Christmas
to
song.
write. I need to write
Oh, Christmas song.
Christmas songs. Like,
The.
dude, if this song, between $15 million and $25 million.
Yeah.
Imagine what Mariah Carey's Christmas song is worth. The one that's always played. That's gonna be $100 million song.
Whatever the fuck. Yeah, I'm sure.
All I want for Christmas is you.
Oh,
that's
that-
gonna
is
be
that
at
her?
least, that's gonna be at least $100
Is that
million
her?
song. I bet that's a $250 million.
See, everyone talks about Mariah Carey
that
being
what
the
we-
queen of Christmas music.
It's
and
just one song.
Well, I don't know it. Like I hear that
want
song,
for
yes,
Christmas
but I never know it's her.
is you.
Never know it's her.
Yeah. Anyway, my cat's rubbing up against us, probably trying to get some food. Even though,
I mean, okay, I will admit Mariah Carey's song is good, and I did listen to a mashup of this year by DJ Cumberbund. It was a really good one too.
Empty Promise. I'm gonna do.
I think it was All I Want for Christmas mashed up with by Mariah, mashed up with an Air, Wind, and Fire song.
Nice. That would be cool. Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
DJ Earth, Wind, and Fire. Air, Wind, and Fire.
Air, Wind. Fuck you, Fire. Fuck you, Earth. Wind
Air
gets
and
two.
Wind feed fire. I'm pretty much all about the fire part.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Earth.
Yeah. Air, Wind, and Blow.
Yeah. Air, Wind, and Oxygen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, which band?
technically a solo artist?
Were
I
the
don't know.
band members each element?
I don't think
Like,
so.
was Air the bassist? Because basically, you can have a 3-bass Earth, Wind, and Fire cover band.
I don't
and
think
all
that's
three
how it-
bassists are the air components. So it's
I believe it was more of like a singing band anyway. But
air, wind, oxygen. We are the 3 bass players covering Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. Go Oxygen. All right, Air. Enough Air.
Now Oxygen.
All right,
None of these are tunes of
Wind.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No, fuck. Wind's actually. It's funny that
Wind has a wind instrument.
I just love the fact that air.
Oh, that's what
air,
they
wind, and
play.
oxygen is not a wind instrument band at all. They all just play the most grounded instruments on the planet. It's like, yeah, let's play the bass. Like, oh, we thought you guys gonna play. Let's see, a woodwind. Technically, a saxophone is a woodwind.
Does
What else
Earth,
we
Wind,
got?
and Fire even have a bass player?
Of course, yeah, it's a funk band, man. I mean, funk and soul. Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
I guess I never really pick apart their music when I hear it. It sounds so.
Everybody has a bass
It sounds
player.
orchestrated. It's so good.
Everybody has a bass player.
I don't.
Oh, sorry, Scott. Yeah. Now go to our GoFundMe to get Scott a bass player. GoFundMe.
We got a guitar at our house finally, so we guess we need a bass
nice.
now.
Yeah, did you figure that out?
Yeah, still tuning it. It's only been a week.
Sweet. Yeah. Well, you'll get there. Did you get a tuner at least?
It came with one.
Okay, cool.
We threw that away. We're using an app on a phone now because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Came with a bad tuner.
Yeah. Just get one of these guys here. These are about $30. These are.
Yeah, probably just use the app until
Although,
we
you know
find out
what's-
if both of us
actually,
want to
so,
use it
you know
at
what's
all.
funny? So my buddy who left it, I'm showing him, one of these super tights.
You got a bunch over here. Good pile of them.
Yeah, those are broken.
I like how you just keep trash laying around.
Yep. Well, the problem is because people kept leaving broken tuners here, and but like one of them works, and I don't know which one.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So, I'm
So
like,
they're all hypothetical
yeah.
trash.
So every one of them, yeah, it's a 3-card Monty of trash, where it's like one of them's pretty good.
It's like,
And
I
I was
don't,
like,
I don't
wanna
mean to
throw-
judge you, but in our house we throw things away.
Yeah, but like so, I picked that one up there. I don't mean get that one. I just mean that they're all the same brand.
Yeah.
They're all little snarks or whatever. But that being said,
Where do you
my-
clip one on a guitar? Right at the very peak?
Yeah, right at the yeah
Peak?
Yeah.
Is that what you call the end of a guitar?
Nope, not at all. Yeah. But the you call it what you want as long as you know what you're talking about, and I knew what you were talking about. That's how communication works. So anyway, but my buddy who actually has these was like when he had them broken, he was using the one on his phone. He's like, "Fuck, this is better."
Yeah, the
Like,
phone one seems to be great.
It actually works really, really well, especially for like an acoustic. I think, which is what you got. You're really in pretty good
Yes.
shape because the acoustic, no matter what, it's going to be working on resonance coming through. Anyway,
I got her an
so-
acoustic guitar.
So they have acoustic. Good. Oh, that's the brand.
Yes, acoustic.
It's an acoustic electric.
Oh yeah, acoustic electric.
Yeah, the brand is acoustic. Honey, you confused me. I bought you an electric guitar by the brand.
Where do you plug it in? Oh, it's kinetic.
Yeah, the kinetic acoustic acoustic. No, acoustic
It's
electric.
powered by the playing.
Yeah.
If you're not rocking, it's not pumping.
Yeah.
It doesn't go through the it doesn't go through the subwoofers if you're not actually rocking.
Yeah. If it's not a rocking, it's not a rocking.
Oh, that'd be amazing. A guitar that really only goes through the amp if you're rocking, but if you're not, it's like it can tell.
It's like a wine,
you don't rock, dude.
Like a wine. Like not even like if you're playing, just literally, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
It
It judges
amp
you.
just shuts you the fuck up.
It judges
it's AI.
you.
It's AI to feel like this.
And
is
as soon
not
as you
good.
start doing it right, it's like,
All right. So yeah, that's essentially that's as good as we'll need.
And on the night that Jimmy learned how to play Green Day on his new acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
his subwoofer grew 3 times the size it was the night before.
That's right. Because
It's a Grinch story.
Because the brand acoustic also has growing subwoofers. That's right.
Very underperforming brand considering all their technological feats.
Yeah.
It's a wireless electric guitar with a growing subwoofer. Come on.
How could you not love it? It sells itself.
Acoustic.
Yeah. Also, the self-selling acoustic electric kinetic with growing subwoofer.
Hey, powered by your playing.
Yeah, powered by your playing. All right. So anyway, that's that
Yeah,
story.
they're never going to be able to do that. They're never going to be able to ban the songs. The song costs too much fucking money.
Yes, and actually, I realized. I think. There we go. Okay.
Yes.
So the next story I have is TikTok psychic being sued for accusing professor of the murder of 4 people.
Oh, she is a piece of work.
Dude. So so I'm actually glad I got the full story back because I had to get through.
I've done
paywall
more
here.
digging today on her too.
Oh, really? Okay. So this is Ashley Guillard, I think. Guillard claims she knows who killed 4 University Idaho students. By the way, this is the Moscow, Idaho killings that have been all over the news nationwide in multiple podcasts, true crime podcasts and stuff. This is huge news. So of course a TikToker would come and just
She's not
brazenly-
just a TikToker. She's an author. She has books that she wrote herself on Amazon.
Oh, that takes a lot. That takes a lot.
Right. She's right next to what is it? Dirk Diggler. What the fuck was that writer that does all the weird porn? Like, my gay sofa raped my not gay cat.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that guy.
Chuck Tingle.
Chuck Tingle.
Yeah.
Chuck Tingle's a self-published Amazon writer. Anyone can write anything and publish it on Amazon.
I'm going to guess considerably better writer than she is because
all of her books are conspiracy, wacko, weird, pseudoscience bullshit.
No, this is a person who does tarot card readings on TikTok. Fine, have fun with it. But
tarot is fun.
But let's. I'm going to break down what really happened, and then I'm going to tell you what she said happened. What happened is this crazy fucking attention-grabbing piece of shit was like, there's a huge, tragic story going on nationwide. I can get clicks if I just fucking bring it into my little stupid world of just flipping. I'm sorry. Tarot cards are stupid. Fun. Have fun with them. If you believe them, you are a fucking idiot. Okay? You're flipping cards over. I'm just going to take a deck of cards and be like, Queen of Hearts, I guess you're getting raped today. Okay, sure. Fuck it. And even that would be fine compared to saying you are a rapist, which is essentially what she said. Not that, but she said she flipped over some cards and she was like, yeah, something tells me that something has to do with a teacher, right? That murdered these people. Now, okay, fine. So what does she do? She Googles the Idaho University and goes through the staff list and then sees a list of people and doesn't do anything with that. And then she's like, I'm going to do another reading. And then she's like, oh, this reading tells me it's this person. And essentially what happened is she Googled, she did tarot readings, and then she was like, these people went to a university. This is all so fucking stupid. This woman is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, apparently her Facebook page is easily searchable. She doesn't hide it or block it or make it anything. And people said, things she writes on there, super, super low intelligence, super weird. Very, very clear issues with mental stability.
Yes.
In fact, she might be able to avoid getting in trouble for this by simply saying she's crazy.
She would never say she would, but her
lawyer's going to say you should say that.
That being said, she has not yet hired an attorney. So that might actually save
the cards haven't told her which one to hire.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, shit. They're telling me that my attorney's
I got the death card. Better go dig up an attorney.
My attorney's a murderer. Oh, wait. What's that?
Oh, yeah. In mid-court.
Yeah.
Doing the cards to waste time in court. Judge, I'd
Excuse
like
me?
a new lawyer.
I believe objection. I believe.
I
Hold
believe
on.
he murdered the 4 students with the teacher.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
Hold on.
can you switch seats, lawyer guy? Can you go sit with the murderers
Yeah.
because you're a murderer?
Yeah, I just drew an objection card. I would like to just say objections sustained. And first
Very
of all,
few people know the 5 of Cups is the bailiff card. I am now the bailiff. And she like just gets up and does like a little weird dance with the card overhead, like bailiff. I'm the bailiff.
God, can we just throw this crazy person in a crazy house? All right. But yeah,
Like,
so
at some point you'd have to be like, is she acting? Like, is this all pretend? Like, is she insane?
but you would be able to,
or is she a
go through.
sociopath?
But you would be able to go through. I think a lot of her like,
Sociopaths
history.
are not insane.
Her-
They just manipulate people.
You'd be able to go through a lot of her history, social media history, and especially what she says at the end of all this, to show that she really is a little bit crazy. But so she.
I don't feel like
so
there's
she
enough
accused-
cards in a tarot deck. Sometimes I just make my own. This is the professor card.
Yeah.
You're gonna say how he's holding like 4 severed heads? Proves my case.
Yeah. Yeah.
You drew that with crayons on a not even conforming to the deck size of paper.
was an old
like it's a
napkin,
whole
a-
deck, and there's like a
like
piece of printer paper like in the middle.
Piece of printer paper with like Sharpie bleeding off the other shit. Oh my god!
I drew the professor card.
As she flips it over, like, oh my god! I didn't see this one coming.
Or also pick any card. Pick any card.
Yeah.
Pulls
Yeah.
out that one piece of
Nope.
printer paper.
Yeah.
I pulled a professor card again.
Oh my god! What is it? So anyway, so
Professor Cardigan did it.
Yeah,
Are you just calling him that now? You said card again. Now you're calling him Professor Cardigan.
no, that's the name of the card now.
Drew a Christmas sweater on him in black Sharpie.
Christmas cardigan. What? Professor Christmas cardigan. Did it in the billiards room. I'm Clue now. Anyway, so
I'm a clue now.
So anyway, she accused a historian at a university of being the murderer. It has completely upended this woman's life. She not only this woman also has done a lot of she's done these diversity studies in the American West. She wrote some book about a gay rodeo, which I really want to read now. And I'm not saying that people who have these empathic and empathetic views can't be murderers, but she was
wrote
also
a book about a gay rodeo too.
But she was literally in the
I'm processing that. You broke my brain.
The historian.
I knew she wrote some shitty books about psychology.
The historian did, not the TikToker.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the historian wrote some books about diversity in the Old West, the American West, essentially being like the Old West we're seeing in all these American Western movies with like John Wayne and stuff, but the American West was way more diverse. I mean, obviously the Native American culture, blacks and what they had to do with it, also
shit ton of Chinese.
Gay cowboys, you're on the range.
Most cowboys were
Prison rules.
Chinese.
And then
they built the fucking railroads and the roads and the buildings. They were the Mexicans of the Wild West. And I bet you see no Asian people in most Wild West movies.
Oh
and shows.
no, but no! If you watch,
they should be filthy with Chinese.
If you watch, if you do watch Bonanza. But the reason I'm saying that way because one of my favorite podcasts is Bananas for Bonanza, which is Andy Daly.
I just watched the sequel Yellowstone.
Yeah, so they point out in Bananas for Bonanza, which is by Andy Daly playing Dalton Wilcox and Matt Gorley playing Mutt Taylor as these lovers of Bonanza, and they go on and they mention and they're like, yeah, and once again in the opening scene there is a Chinese man fighting over a bottle of whiskey. It's like every fucking there's a Native American fighting over a bottle of whiskey and a Chinese man carrying a basket of laundry. Like in the opening scene, these are reshot every time, not like reused, but like how racist those.
It's not racist. It's actually inclusionary in a way that most Westerns don't even try. To show the most racist examples of inclusion is inclusion in a genre that has no inclusion.
But it is damaging inclusion. It would be better to not have anything than have that. Yes.
I think it showed at least some slight, like, we need to really show that there were Native Americans and Chinese. And they're like, well, we can, but you gotta do it racist. They're like,
I don't want to.
Fine.
No, that's not how it worked. It's just people were like, this is what Chinese people were like. Because
I'm thinking everyone in the set in 1960s Bonanza was like liberals going, well, we gotta kowtow to the Reagan era people.
Yeah,
but it's also 20 years
Yeah,
before,
no, this is, so so there
we don't want Eisenhower mad at us. I don't know.
You're in between there. I think it was like JFK.
He once owned a Chinaman. Yeah. Can we say that? I'm liberal.
Fuck it.
It's 1960. I'm liberal. Chinaman.
I think Chinaman was actually what people in, like, that was the liberal term for them back then.
Well, there was a lot, like, blacks, too, was also considered liberal.
No, Oriental was liberal. Black is now the liberal term again. Remember, like, black was bad, then African American.
Well, there was N-word and Negroes. Those were the bad ones, and then they shifted to colored and black.
No, Negro was positive compared to the N-word.
It shuffled a lot.
Colored was the good. In fact,
colored was the good one for a while.
NAACP still has the word colored in it, but people don't.
No one likes it now.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why people just say
finally went full circle. Now N-word is the acceptable term.
And what I want to point out to all these people who are now saying are saying like BIPOC and POC and people of color, I'm like, listen, I get your argument saying that people of color is better than colored people, because it is, because you're putting the person first. But guess what? In 10 years, they're going to be looking back at you, and you're going to accidentally say people of color, and you're going to be like, you fucking racist. Because that is... the fact that it's not bad
African
right now,
American was mad popular in the 90s.
Yeah,
now it's not.
Guess what? Because the white people were like, we should call them that. And then a bunch of people were like, I'm not from Africa, actually. I'm from Haiti. And they're like, well, maybe at some point you're from Africa. They're like, yeah, but not all African Americans, not all black people are from Africa, you know?
If we all came from Africa, then I'm an African American.
Because and also it actually made more sense.
I would never. Can we bleep that? Because I don't want that little sound clip ever to come back and bite me in the ass.
You wonder why we keep getting like the Daily Caller or whatever keeps like quoting.
Oh, you can grab little fucking 5-second snippets and ruin our lives.
Yeah,
but but out of context, you know.
Yes, but anyway. So, Professor Schofield is the professor who has written about the diversity in the American West. I actually
did he also do the Schofield charts for the heat index?
This is the woman, I believe,
for the heat index of spicy foods.
No, that was not even the same word.
Schofield's isn't that the
nope. It's Scoville's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Schofield,
but there is John Schofield, who is a jazz fusion guitarist.
Loves spicy food.
Loves spicy food.
You know? See, we made it work.
Yeah, the Schofield incident is a name of a crazy...
Scoville incident.
Yeah, that's a crazy fusion band.
Love it, actually.
And the incident has to do with him eating too many hot peppers and shitting his pants. And that was the incident in which they were talking, that it created a great fusion band. Which nobody knows, because nobody listens to fusion. Who cares?
It was the night that Jazz died.
Yeah, that's right. I fucking bled Jazz out my asshole for about 6 hours, and I was like, that's the end of that. Anyway, so there has been there is a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit against a TikToker by the Professor Schofield, who also, by the way, has a airtight alibi. Like, they were literally not in the same state when the killings happened. So, but it has upended her life, because a bunch of fucking crazy people who follow this person on TikTok are like, oh my God. But she is doubling down, the TikToker, to the point where she's like, not only have I not gotten an attorney, she's saying she's remained defiant in the lawsuit, returning to TikTok to post more videos about Schofield, at times calling her Killer Rebecca. I mean, not even like hiding it, like straight up going Trump on this. She described the suit as measly and said she was excited to present my ideas in court. That's that's what crazy people who think they're right say. Truly crazy people. She told the Post
she's happy that she's getting this attention right now.
Yes, but I think she actually is legitimately mentally deranged to the point where she thinks she's really right, because otherwise, like, when you saw that, like, the people who were saying all this crazy shit on Fox News and stuff suddenly back down when they're like faced with lawsuits and like, you know what? We don't actually want to go to prison. She's like, no, I think I'm right. She's like, I can't wait to get into court. She has not hired an attorney. She said she's not.
Oh, is she going to represent herself?
Time will tell, and I'm willing to take the risk. I'm going to keep posting. I'm not going to take anything down. She said, if in an alternate universe, if I was wrong, this is an open and shut case. I did say she ordered the execution of the 4 University of Idaho students. I'm still posting. I've said a lot of things about her. I'm not going to stop. If I'm such a liar, I'm so wrong about it, then in court she will win. And fuck it, yes, she will win. And then she's still going to not back down, because she's going to be like, well, she won, but that doesn't mean anything, because I guess it's the alternate universe now.
Yeah.
So that is that one there. I'm going to skip the next story and go on to your story.
I want to pitch real quick to you an idea.
Okay.
Scoville Fields spicy baked treats.
Okay.
Basically, we have tons of companies out there that make sweet things, make hot things. We need spicy cookies.
Spicy cookies, I like.
Spicy baklava, spicy biscuits. Just basically the whole idea would be Scoville's. Like it's on the Scoville chart. You can get chocolate chip cookies, but they're on the chart. They chart.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't see why we couldn't have spicy treats that are sweet.
Yeah, I mean, because
I like Asian food that is sugary and spicy.
I've definitely had some spicy chocolate before, like with the
I've had spicy chocolate,
but that's like pure chocolate with spice in it.
I think it's Scoville Farms.
Scoville Farms, I like it.
Yep, Scoville Farms.
Yeah, I like it.
Because I eat sweet Chinese food like a General Tso's chicken. That's like 50% sugar.
Yes.
But then I throw like crushed red pepper and hot sauce. I make it spicy.
Sweet and spicy goes so like the Thai sweet and spicy.
So
goes
Scoville Fields.
Yes,
Scoville
Farms.
Scoville Farms.
Yeah, Scoville Farms.
It's like a pepper farm, but then you just make cookies and brownies and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
fucking throw weed in there too.
Yeah, fuck it. Scoville Farms. Fuck it. You won't remember that. Make you bleed out your asshole. But yeah, we're gonna do. Let's say. One more story, then I'm going to read the Doncaster thing. And what
Did you want me to do Cousin Eddie?
Yeah, I'm going to save year in review and best of
for
next
episode,
week because next episode will be our first of the new year. So let's just do that. How's that?
All right, sounds good. So Cousin Eddie from a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, played by the
fellow Vermonter,
deplorable Randy Quaid.
Oh, by the way,
I finally stopped following him on Twitter because he is so toxic of a human being.
So he's like his personal stuff is definitely toxic, but I will say the media coverage of him, like the more I've read about, like the more I've gotten to know like his own story, the media coverage was definitely way more unfair than it should have been. He is still fucking crazy. But,
he is missing half of his brain. Yeah. He is nuts.
Yes, he is still crazy. But when he went through the whole thing about trying to like getting into Vermont and fleeing
the tax thing
and all that kind of stuff,
trying to go to Canada,
like certain elements of that, I was like, oh okay, like you actually like sometimes you like can hear what he's saying and be like, okay, he's not as crazy. But then you read his tweets and shit, and you're like, oh wait, nope, there he is. All right. Well, I'm like, oh, it turns out when he does an interview or like a written statement. Hey, suddenly he sounds okay. And it's almost like he has somebody write it for him. Yeah.
Yeah, his Twitter account is toxic and horrible. Yes, and basically calls for the death of liberals and stuff.
That's one of the things I want to like about to Twitter. I want it to stay around because you really do get a better view of who people are because people just shit tweet literally on the shitter, or they just tweet what's on their mind, and you get to really know a person way better than just like these interviews where they're prepared and they have a PR person.
How else will I know how much Ben Shapiro hates women because they won't touch him?
Oh, listen to his podcast?
Yeah, I would never do that.
Actually, mostly because you have to listen to a voice like this.
My entire Ben Shapiro knowledge comes from TikTok and people playing short clips of him being super horrible. And I'm good with that. That's enough for me.
I love his
5-second sound bites is good enough.
His rendition of WAP, wet ass pussy, was the best.
Woke ass politician?
Oh, dude, you don't give him that idea. That's amazing. Oh my God, that's so good. Go on to your story because oh my God,
gears are turning.
Really good. Okay, I'm going to write that down. You go ahead and read the story.
Okay. So this comes out of Kentucky. There's a Cousin Eddie display on someone's front yard that got the police called. A dispatcher described the scene to responding officers as a male standing outside, naked. He has a robe covering parts of his body. He is exposing himself, and he has a hose between his legs. What they ended up seeing when they got there was literally a Cousin Eddie from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with a mannequin. Scene set up where he's got the cigar, the hat, a beer, an orange hose where he's basically pumping the contents of his trailer into their sewer.
Yep.
Fake sewer with green vapors made of like construction paper coming out of it. And then they even went so far as to have a tipped over chair with a burnt cat on the bottom and the saucer that Chevy Chase burnt his ass out on after he used that spray, that cooking spray. Kind of all put up as like a display. And cops are called on it because neighbors were like, there's a naked man drinking a beer and smoking a cigar on their front lawn. He hasn't moved in 3 days. We need some police out here. The Ken doll dick area doesn't bother me as much as the fact that this man has not moved in 3 days.
I think there's a dead man still smoking a cigar. Yeah, no, but like...
They chopped his dick off and propped him up in the yard. He's a Ken doll down there.
This is like, at least the third or fourth case of of people getting their essentially their lawn or like displays canceled because of Karen neighbors. Yeah, because remember there was I don't think we covered it on here, but there was the Stranger Things one too.
Oh, the floating girl.
Yeah, the floating girl.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I saw. I'm not even kidding you. Around Halloween, and I love TikTok. We've already mentioned this a few times on the show. I saw maybe 70 videos of that girl floating thing at their house. Only one from the owner of the house. It became a tourist attraction. Yeah. Everyone was posting like different videos, and I think the issue with their display wasn't that it pissed off their Karen neighbors. I think the fact that it became a tourist attraction pissed off the neighborhood. Yeah. And people are like, I need to go to fucking work, and there's like all these Instagram girls like twerking in front of it and posing.
So in other words, take it down because of that, because then people will stop coming. You're right.
Yeah, I think what happened is it basically their neighborhood became Disneyland for a week, and the people who don't want it to be that, who like quiet, maybe people who work from home and don't want cars honking.
Yeah, honestly, it would piss me off.
I think it might have. I'm gonna.
It would
devil's
piss me
advocate.
Off. It would piss me off, but at the same time, I would not call the police on, or I would not force it to be taken down. I would wait for it to, because guess what? We live in a day like.
I would try to capitalize on it.
Hey, free parking for fucking douchebags that want to look at a stupid floating.
$5 to park in my driveway.
Yeah.
Lawn. I would open my lawn up to it. Be like,
you know what
$5, park all the way down the lawn.
You know what I would have done? I would have right on the actual public property on the sidewalk, put something up that blocked it and did $20 to get me to take this down so you could take one fucking picture. And I'd split it with the owner. Bing, bong, boom. I would
monopolize.
I actually wouldn't. I would stay in my house and I go, it'll pass in literally 1 week, because on TikTok in 1 week, nobody's going to give a shit.
Oh, yeah. No, it came and went fast.
Yeah, just like everything on TikTok. It's fucking, dude, people are done doing dances like the time the next dance comes out.
Letterkenny News Season, episode 5. They literally do that. They have people going up doing Instagram influencer shots and wedding photos in the Letterkenny town in Canada. And they basically all monopolize on it. Like, yeah, you got to come to my murder barn. We have goats. Yeah. Like, literally, that was a line in it. Like, take your photos at our murder barn. We have goats. You can take pictures with the goats. And I love it. They called them influenzas, too. And they're like, don't you mean influencer? They're like, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's fucking virus. And it's a fucking viral bacterial bunch of bullshit.
One character kept going, I don't like all these influenzas in our town.
Dude, influenzas. Like, I hope that catches on.
You mean influencers. Same thing.
Yeah, I have to catch up on Letterkenny so much.
That's first half of season 11 just dropped.
Because
Season 11.
I've seen 4 seasons.
Plus you have the offshoot. What's his name?
Yeah, the one
who talks high pitch.
Yeah, fucking the
Shorzy.
Shorzy. Yeah,
you also have the Shorzy spinoff.
Shorzy. I saw the first episode of Shorzy. Fucking laughed my ass off harder than anything in the first 10 minutes of that.
I was curious how they would do it, because you never see his face. So they did start in the shitter, where he's just like, "Fuck you guys," like doing his whole thing. But then he comes out, and you're like, "Whoa." He's actually the same. He's the same dude.
I got to catch back. I literally watched 4 seasons of it. Like
Letterkenny, New Year's recommendation.
Right when it came out, like essentially, like they released like 10 seasons right off the bat.
It's my New Year's recommendation. People catch up on 11 seasons of Letterkenny, and then one season of Shorzy, which is an offshoot of it.
Too many seasons.
Fits in the universe.
Too many seasons.
Fits in the universe.
That being said, it's
Shorzy might have been funnier.
That is the equivalent of about 4 seasons of American television,
because it is shorter.
Yes,
it's not even 10 episodes.
6 episodes each. Yeah, I believe it's 6 episodes.
Depending on the season. Sometimes 6 is a half season, and they do a second half a year later.
Oh, Christ. Fuck that shit. All right. Anyway, that's the end of that. Was that the end of your story? I think Cousin Eddie just play gets cops called on him.
Yeah. That was the whole story.
Oh, I did want to. So before we go, so this is actually the last story I was going to cover. I will actually. Let me see. Open this link here.
That's a woke ass politician.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm definitely gonna be covering that.
Woke ass politics? You gotta shorten it, 'cause pussy is pussy.
Right.
Politics. Politician.
Yeah.
Could make it work.
Woke ass poly. That's poly. Poly. Whatever.
Nah, you make it work. Politician will work. Politics would work.
It could actually just be, at some point, have nothing to do with the song, and just literally just be a reading like he did. But anyway, I wanted to read this one last thing that actually is not a full story, but I thought it was funny. The Doncaster, UK surgery sends cancer text instead of a festive message. I love just reading this. So imagine this. You receive a text that just says, from NHS no reply. It says, from the forwarded letters at CMP, blank has asked for you do a DS 1500 for the above patient. Diagnosis, aggressive lung cancer with metastases. Thanks. No reply. .text@nhs.net. Then, shortly thereafter, please accept our sincere apologies for the previous text message sent. This has been sent in error. Our message to you should have read, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. In case of emergency, please contact NHS 111. No reply. Text at nhs.net.
Where's that?
This is in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they meant to send this thing out, and they accidentally sent one person's lung cancer, aggressive lung cancer with metastasis diagnosis out to every person who had ever...
so everyone then gets the, sorry, this was meant to read Merry Christmas,
yes,
except unless your name is...
It was just like a Merry Christmas unless you're that person.
Unless your name is...
Yes. Anyway, so that's that. We're going to do a year in review next week. We're going to do a best of 2014-2021 based on what ChatGPT...
Yeah, we'll do a year roundup thing next week.
And in the meantime, I am going to go out on a song I keep meaning to go out on, which is "Varnish" by Sonic Jalopy. I released this about a month or so ago, early November, I believe. November.
Do we have it up on the website, or do you need to send that to me?
I can send it to you. It's up on Spotify as well. So I'm going to go out on that, and hope you enjoy it. It's a real sensitive, like chill out kind of song. It's like a sort of not future. It's very chill. It's supposed to make you feel a little comforted going into 2023. And where everything's probably just going to get shittier. So enjoy it and get lost.
Get lost.
Amani,